Thank you. Thank you. So welcome everybody to our Innovation Summit. We're very pleased to have you on board this morning, today and evening for some. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us, all our industrial members, network partners, universities working with us. And we hope that today will be a good information day for everyone. Normally we would have met in person, but due to the current situation, we have an online event, and hopefully we will take this meeting on the road once everyone can meet in person safely. Thanks very much. I would like to also thank the organizing team, TWIIN operations team here, because they have worked really hard to put this together, and all the marketing team, Chloe, who has kindly helped us and make sure that we are joined up. Really thank the team for the efforts, and I hope that you have a good day. We have a comprehensive agenda. I would like to say a few words to start off the sessions, and then you will see that you'll have a range of speakers today, and feel free to ask any questions. You can use the chat box or email any one of us to the network, and we'll make sure that you have an answer. And hopefully you will also enjoy the online lounge that we've utilized today. We've set up an online lounge for networking, which is just after midday, and feel free to join that one, see how it goes for you. It may not work for everyone, but it's a good try, and you might find that you meet some people online and carry discussions afterwards. So thank you again and welcome everyone. I'd like to start with showing a few slides for the benefit of all, and give an update on TWIIN so far and some of the services we have. So if I share my screen. Right. We still have people joining us, so I think that's good. Okay, can everyone see my screen? I hope you can.
All good, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. My name is Selcuk. I'm head of business development for TWI Innovation Network at TWI. What you see here is a picture taken on a very nice day of the TWI site, the headquarters in Granta Park, Cambridge. We would normally welcome you here, but over the past 2 years, it was more difficult to get together in person. So remember this photo. I'm sure some of you have already been here, and those that haven't been will have a chance to visit at some point. Okay. I would like to talk a little bit about TWIIN services. So I will touch on the setting that we have, the international flavor that we have in the network from UK, Europe, and global entities that are participating in the activities. Obviously, we have both industrial and academic branches in the network. The industrial branches are represented by the SMEs, large enterprises and supply chains, obviously, and the academic members include universities and centers. We have many UK centers. That's how the network started initially, going back a decade or so. And now we are also stepping into further dimensions in European entities, working closely with RTOs and universities, and obviously SMEs for joint collaborations. So hopefully you will all find a place in this network. For those that perhaps are not very well informed of TWI, it's a historic organization dating back to the 1940s. So it has always been in Cambridge, but over the years and decades, it has grown, and there are various sites in the UK. So you can see that from Cambridge to Wales to Port Talbot to Northeast, Middlesbrough, and Yorkshire, Rotherham to Aberdeen. We have several offices in the UK. If you happen to be visiting UK, feel free to drop by and see what TWI does. We have, obviously, it's an innovation network, and we have many innovation centers, 15 innovation centers today with 11 organizations. So it's a big network. You can see the UK flavor in this network, the way it started off, obviously. And many universities on this map are world-class UK universities and expanding institutions, and they work on different themes. We have also branched out into further territories, and we have a partnership with Sabancı University. That was our first European innovation center, and we're very proud that we've actually been able to expand the network to different countries as well. TWI as a global entity is pretty much across the globe, I would say. You know, you can see the map here, and we have basically a presence in pretty much everywhere. And I think this is, in a way, a big advantage of the network. So if you happen to be in any of these places or nearby, you can still work with the network and reach out to TWI, and we'll be able to collaborate with you. So don't feel that you are excluded by any means. There is some precedence to why the network has obviously formed. I'll just give an example here. Over a decade, nearest decade, we've created a over £1 billion research and innovation network, which is quite substantial. Many of the RTOs and universities obviously had substantial research funding as a result of the activities, and significantly industrial partners have benefited from it with also innovation funding. Over 360 projects have been carried out with over 1,000 companies, both SMEs and large enterprises, and working alongside 165 RTOs and universities. So this is a good example of what the network can achieve, and why we are basically exploring and pushing different activities for the benefit of our members and partners. Some examples of collaborative projects you might want to just take a note. You can see that it's spread across the globe, and these are all innovation projects, different sectors, from rail to aerospace to manufacturing systems to healthcare, or infrastructure, if you like. And I think this is a good example of the range of projects that we could achieve together, and also considering the geography of partners and how we can actually interlink everybody. Innovation network has various components, and they're all linked up. You can see that we have an education and skills program that is almost foundation level research with an industrial flavor. And also we have innovation centers that are more in tune with the applied research, obviously working alongside SMEs and industrial partners as part of technology acceleration program. And for large enterprises who would like to align themselves more strategically for a longer period, you have private technology innovation partnerships. This is, I would say, usually a long program with substantial investment from the large enterprise. So it depends on the needs and projections of the companies who are interested in that type of work. Everyone can join this MAP and TWI Innovation Network for various reasons. Everyone's motivation is different. Some are more interested in networking profile and also gaining some exposure, but others are equally interested in ideas and projects and direct product development related stuff. So we have over 150, majority of them are SMEs, companies representing the network as part of technology acceleration program from across 20 countries. So it's really a good international environment So everyone should feel at home in the network, really. So our activities, we've managed to, if you like, bundle some of these activities in a more presentable manner as part of a subscription service for companies who would like to benefit from annual conferences, educational programs, the convention, which is more of an exhibition for companies who would like to display their capabilities for new collaborations, the innovation summits that we have now online. Normally, we would have this in a different location every year, but we couldn't do that for the past 2 years. And hopefully we have some candid locations. And as things resume and become more normal, we'll be able to take this show on the road and meet you in different locations. But we constantly arrange workshops and meetings, and we've released a series of podcasts, which you might find interesting. You can access these through the website. I will show some links later on. A one-to-one support to industry, SMEs, predominantly because they are usually the starting point for any development. So therefore, that one-to-one support is very crucial. Leading to industry-driven opportunities, proposals, applications for funding, as well as project management support, which is often a big task when a company inherits or takes over a leading role. It comes with a lot of bureaucratic procedures that is linked to the funding body, and a company might need significant support during this period, and the network can offer that. Obviously, our aim is to give increased exposure and visibility and enable collaboration with the TWI Innovation Centers and between companies. International locations covered, and obviously further partnerships and resources can be achieved through the collaboration. I would like to show these charts for those, especially SMEs, who are perhaps on course to introduce a product to market or take further stake in a technology. And this is what we call a TRL chart, technology readiness level, and it almost summarizes the journey. It might look a bit convoluted here, but what you might want to note here is that there is a foundational early TRL 1 to 3, it's called on the x-axis. Early TRL work that often is required before you can start demonstrating the potential of the technology, which is in mid TRL between 4 and 6. And often once that's demonstrated, there's questions of scale up and how to actually take some market position. And often that's a big challenge. And therefore, some of the services that the TWIIN offers and dedicate to the technology acceleration will most certainly help with the evolution of this innovation incentive and bring companies closer to market positioning with some commercial activity. So this journey is important, and our aim is, through the schemes that we have in the network, help the companies to basically complete this journey with minimal damage or risk along the way. So if I was to summarize a little bit what the TWIIN services for SMEs particularly includes, I would say if you need to jump TRL, bring innovation to market, achieve step change product development or new product development, secure leverage funding, you might need some funding along the way in form of grants, link up with innovation resources. You might have a great company, sites and a facility, but may not have necessarily resources for innovation, which could be a challenge. Then the network is there for you. You may want to be up to date with the latest project applications, gain some confidence in project affairs and management across both UK and European platforms. Then I would say it's good to have a look at the subscription packages that you will see. And I'm sure you will find a package that meets your challenges and at the economic level that you might consider. So what you can see here is some packages that's bundled, if you like, for the SMEs particularly. and this sort of details the support services and what it entails. You can see that there's some consultancy there for companies to benefit from, and also explore their project ideas or what they want to achieve. Obviously, there are lots of events that we would recommend companies to take part in so that they can be in tune with the funding programs and what they can actually do together, and also gain some exposure. And if you look at the economic scale of these packages, you know, they are basically different tiers depending on how much the company can choose to afford or dedicate for this type of activity. But it is designed to make it affordable and digestible for companies whilst they are benefiting from the activities. When it comes to a more comprehensive, perhaps ambitious and involving activity, this is typically for European universities and research and technology organizations, which we call RTOs. There are also packages that are more comprehensive, and they have basically more ambitious targets, including more proposals to be involved in, as well as more focused activities. Hence, these are designed for predominantly European research centers. So the consultancy support can cover various aspects of innovation activity, technology development, or project management. These are some bullet points for everyone to make a note of. Innovation consultancy support can include project idea development, project opportunities, networking opportunities, supply chain needs and connections, most certainly consortia for specific sectors and landscapes, and international links. So often the companies, they have a great idea or product, but they often struggle in linking up this technology or product with different locations. In a situation like that, a network with many representations across the globe could be very useful. Proposal development, obviously, a big effort for many people, and the network can significantly help that. R&D resource support through the centers that we have. We have 15 centers. I'm sure each and everyone can somehow align their interests with one of the centers that are active. So there's a good choice, and they all focus on a different theme, from composites to manufacturing to monitoring to AI. So you'll have really a good choice there. When it comes to how to position yourself with the right call for funding, again, network is useful. And also to overcome the challenges of a big project submission. We do many events such as this and other meetings, perhaps more closer meetings. The primary aim is to put companies in the zone, and also through the affiliation with the network, hopefully they can meet their innovation challenges and the criteria they're facing. I would also mention the project management support that could be part of the consultancy as part of the time spent with you. And this includes dedicated training on management of public funded projects. It would target a training in some shape or form. It could be more comprehensive, obviously, depending on the needs of the company, but it would look at things like management of portals, understanding the paperwork and rules, the contracts, looking at project deliverables and how to prepare these internally or for consortia, effective project result dissemination and exploitation, which is very key in both UK and European programs. You know, it's where things actually start getting interesting because they are looking to bring in some economic return after all the research and development. But it goes with managing project finances, and also there are some audits along the way, which could be scary for many companies. But again, with the right support, you'll have the answers to the questions that you have. A big part of our activity is events and meetings, and we focus on this because I think it brings everyone together in a way, search and match, and also working together. So in that context, you will have brokerage events, info days. This will tell you about calls for funding, teams, topics, you know, possible ideas for proposals shared with the participants centers would be pitching some project ideas that people can consider. There will be opportunity for partnering and also matching with the center's resources. So hopefully between the convention, summits, and conferences that we have, you know, you will find the right level of engagement. And don't forget that the network is a phone call away from you. Some useful links for everyone. You could do that. Have a look at these after the event if you'd like. I would say enjoy the event today, listen to the speakers and see firsthand experience. But these links are important. Do have a look at it. First one is the Innovation Network website. Then if you want to look into the innovation centers, you can link to the second one. The third one is for the acceleration programs to see some examples. And then obviously the events that we do, the last link will take you there. There is an email address, as you can see on the screen, for any queries that you may have about Innovation Network. Please do get in touch. And we're very proud that we were in the 75th year of TWI, so it's a proud year for us. And hopefully that will go into bigger numbers as well. Now, rest of the day is also full of other presentations. You will hear from TWI Hellas, and I would encourage many of the European partners joining us today to keep an eye on that, because it's be very important for you. TWI certification is another dimension of the network, and some companies looking to get some assistance on certification matters. I would find a lot of interest in that. Then we have speakers from our network. These are actual participants. Kaplam is with us today. It's a gold subscriber of TWIIN, and they are a tier company in Turkey, and they will give their account of the network activities. And also we're very proud to have Fraunhofer IKTS with us, another network subscriber looking to collaborate closely. We have an online networking lounge available from midday. Do try it. It's a platform called Wanda. Some of you may have used it, but I think it's a good try. And also there are one-to-one clinics or times available today. If anyone wants to organize a one-to-one later on, of course we can discuss and see what can be done, what we can do for you. Any queries on TWIIN, please make a note and let us know. Do ask. And as I said, we hope to meet you in person soon. Do get in touch with us. I just leave you with my contact details. Thank you for listening and watching, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. I would like to give the floor to our second speaker, and Panagiotis, who will be talking on behalf of TWI Hellas. Thank you.
Thank you, Jem. Good morning, everybody. Give me one moment to share my screen. Perfect. Okay, my name is Chatzakos. I'm a regional manager at TWI, overseeing collaborative projects in continental Europe throughout our office in Athens, Greece. And today I'm proud and excited to talk about the innovation projects that we have at Hellas. And you will realize by the end of the talk, 20 minutes later, that we are pure digital. And let me give you some background on exactly this. Most of you know that TWI exists for the benefit of its members. And its membership, TWI and its membership recognize the adoption of digital technologies is essential. As a result, TWI has developed a digital strategy to optimize development of technology and skills for our members. Hellas is the manifestation of this strategy. Our vision is to enable our members in the digitalization of their operations, products, and services. And our mission is threefold: to develop capabilities in the relevant digital technologies in order to support our members, to work with them to design and deliver their digital transformation strategies, and finally, to support the development of digital or digitally enabled products with specific benefits for our members. We have a substantial human capital to deliver this vision. In terms of numbers, more than 25 engineers across technology and sales, half of which possess over 10 years of experience. We apply agile development processes, bi-weekly sprints with partner and client supervised reviews, and we are commercially driven in nature. More than 20% of our staff has experience in industrial settings. I guess you have heard these a gazillion times, that it's the people, it's the expertise, it's the history, and blah, blah, blah. Let me draw the real distinction at Hellas. We are different because we come from the opposite direction. We are a deep tech delivery team integrating back to research, not the other way around. Which brings me to the second point I would like to make today before I jump into the innovation projects. We believe that technology affects everyone's life, be it a natural person or a legal person, and we have a theory about the characteristics that can render a technology capable of giving gratification or capable of generating impact. First, from the perspective of the user, technology can make users' lives easier, safer, even more fulfilling. And in that case, users will adopt technology and prompt more products and services to be built with this kind of technology. However, adoption will be inhibited when the new added functionality increases complexity or makes things harder to learn. Therefore, the take-home messages are these: good technology must be easy to use, and great technology is transparent to the user. On the other hand, there is the perspective of the business, and technology is not, a silver bullet. Rather, it is a tool. So it is important to understand how it might get fit for purpose. So businesses exist to identify and alleviate the users' pains, and they have to do it profitable. Technology can actually help, and especially the smaller size companies, scale these offerings. But like in the case of users, this scaling can become, hard if the businesses make wrong technology choices, or they choose, inappropriate technology partners. So again, the take-home message from today's talk is that the good technology must reduce, obviously, the cost of goods sold and operational expenses and so forth. But best technology actually increases marginal profit. By this, I mean that great technology has the potential to create a virtuous cycle. Marginal profit is serving the next customer with a reduced cost. And this virtuous cycle can accelerate in every turn action. So now it's the second part of my talk, our innovation portfolio, some indicative projects. The first in this list is the Lieske project, where we deploy spectral imaging and machine learning-based image processing, computer vision and 3D reconstruction, and sensor fusion and autonomous navigation. This slide might look cluttered, but by starting from the top corner and going clockwise, it will start making more sense. So based on first principles, we generate a digital model, and we use it to design a set of control algorithms for autonomous operation. Then we implement model-based control and relevant underwater communication. It's the bottom right video. The developed navigation systems are tested initially in our lab, and then are integrated and tested in our partners' facilities. The photos on the bottom left corner are from Marseille. And we validate the performance of the developed system, of the integrated system. On the other end of the spectrum, we have got soft grip. The key technologies in soft grip involve soft robotics designs and control, imitation learning, and human-to-robot skill transfer, robotic simulation, and domain adaptation. And within a few seconds, you will realize why I say it's a radically different approach. We start with the tactile force interactions with a sensorized glove, which you can see at the bottom right corner. And then in a simulated environment which we have built, we incorporate the dynamics of the systems, and we ultimately train a robot purely by watching an expert carrying out the task. The outcome is astonishing, as you can see again in this video. The robot learns, picks, the skill from the images, and he learns how to uproot a mushroom without any pre-programmed control. The controller learns by watching the pixels in the images and how they change. So in this particular example that I'm demonstrating here, there is no control. The robot gripper learns how to pick the mushroom by watching a series of experts doing the task. Third in the list is socket sense. Here we employ our skills in biomechanical modeling and simulation, AI and expert knowledge distillation, and as well as optimization through machine learning. So again, we start with the basics. We have an extensive study and we constructed biomechanical models. This is what you can see on the top right corner. And in order to optimize socket design, we use a combination of static and dynamic rules to derive the optimal sockets. We automate the rectification process, and we test the outcome of the model. And finally, on the top left corner, we have built the user interface for the non-technical expert in order to use the system in her clinic without having any prior knowledge of the technology involved. The flagship of our engineering of the digital engineering portfolio at Hellas is Kyklos. In Kyklos, we bring together 3D model visualization and configuration, web-based user interfaces and service deployments, the related DevOps infrastructure, including continuous integration and continuous development pipelines, to create applications and decision support systems for the additive manufacturing industry. In this particular video that I'm sharing, we demonstrate an end-to-end mass customization web platform. Each user gets her own profile, the processing intuitive and as simple as drawing on paper, like we did when we were kids. A picture of this image is taken, it is uploaded on the cloud, and then magic happens. Artificial intelligence fills the gaps reliably, while a decision support system helps the user identify the best combination of materials and processes and manufacturing processes. This is the choices that the user makes on the web platform, as you can see right now. Depending on the desired criteria, the result will be different, and this is as easy as clicking on your user interface without any prior knowledge of the technology involved. Interestingly, Some properties, some functions of the additive manufacturing process, including slicing, simulation, and optimization, and so forth, all happen in matter of seconds, again on the platform. The resulting model is visualized and manipulated, again on the platform, and finally it can be sent on a cloud-connected AM machine in order to be printed. Imagine the possibilities. Every DIY space in Earth can become a production facility. So, the last project I would like to present to you today is Otomotiv. Here we combine thermal imaging with machine learning-based image processing, sensor fusion, and autonomous navigation of unmanned aerial vehicles. The particular ones that you will see next are hybrid, which means that they use it's a combination of electric and of electric motors and internal combustion engine. And again, and this the application is infrastructure inspection and human activity monitoring. Again, we start with the user needs and the product requirement analysis. The goal in this particular case is to create a simulated environment and a digital twin in order to allow for fast experimentation and optimized mission planning by running various scenarios on the machine. Calibration and setting up are extremely easy, and they are actually plug and play, and the performance of the autonomous operation is verified. The project now is at the stage where the autonomous operation will be validated at our partners' facilities. A large power distributor in Greece. So for closing my talk, I have opted to share with you our long-term and short-term prospects. And starting from the long-term, we aspire to combine first principles modeling with machine learning. Actually, the combination of the two projects that you saw earlier. We particularly care for data efficiency, higher accuracy of predictions, near real-time simulation, and explainable AI. Also, we are particularly interested in edge-deployed machine learning. We focus on advancements in autonomy and communication-restricted environments, as well as data and safety and privacy preserved elements. Last, human-robot shared autonomy. We believe that the prevailing strategy going forward will be augmentation, not replacement of humans, in most of the cases at least. And thus, we highlight human-to-robot skill transfer as I presented to you with the mushroom picking exercise. In the short run, our priorities lie in multidimensional data manipulation in the browser, like in Kyklos. The aim is to enable zero maintenance costs, universal compatibility, and enhanced ease of use. Another area of interest are data ops and machine learning operations optimization. In particular, we are interested in the refinement of these architectures in generated data pipelines for increasing performance and reducing costs. And finally, the complex application containerization, on-premise or private cloud software development for eliminating any security or almost any security concerns. So this is all. Thank you for your attention. Feel free to contact me at this email address, and hope to hear from you soon.
Panos, thank you very much. Fascinating presentation, examples, and I believe There'll be a lot of questions asked and interest, in my opinion. I have many in my head. So if anyone wants to discuss with Panos on a more personal level, please get in touch. We'll be able to connect you as well. I hope you'll be able to collaborate with TWI Hellas and achieve some of these fantastic results. Thank you very much. The next on our list is Emma from TWI Certification. Just before I hand over the talk to Emma, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors today. We have kind sponsors. Our major prime industrial sponsor is Cars Welding, who have really collaborated significantly in the network. And please have a look at their section in the sponsors list, but also Digital Catapult, our digitalization center in the UK, have kindly sponsored, as well as TWI Certification, where Emma is the head of. So Emma, over to you. Thanks very much. And I hope the talk will be much interest to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jem. Good morning, and thank you for the invitation to present this morning. Just give me 2 minutes to get my screen up. Okay. So my name is Emma Freckingham. As Jem mentioned, I'm head of company certification for TWI Certification Limited, which is a subsidiary of the Welding Institute. My other roles are head of the UK Manufacturer Certification Body for the European Committee for Welding and Railway Vehicles. We are a UK authorised nominated body for company certification. I'm a scheme manager, and that's for the International Institute of Welding and the European Federation for Welding, Cutting and Joining. We are also an approved body under the Construction Products Regulation, and I'm the representative for the UK group of approved bodies. And I also am the TWI technical representative for ETAG, which is for the Engineering Inspection Technical Advisory Committee. So what is TWI Certification Limited? Well, we're a UCAS accredited certification body. We work to the ISO IEC 17065 standard, and that's for conformity assessment for certifying products, processes and services. The certification of products, processes and services is a third-party conformity assessment activity. EA and IAF provide mutual recognition agreements through UCAS, being a member of those accreditation bodies. We're customer focused, impartiality and reliability. Impartiality is a particular focus and importance of the standard requirements, enforcing presence of objectivity and preventing conflicts of interest. We are industry-led, impartiality through stakeholder governance. The independent governance that we have is made up of volunteers in industry to safeguard impartiality. We have specialist competence, professionally qualified assessors. Now, validation of special processes requires special competences. Not all certification is the same. TWICL uses highly skilled and knowledgeable compliance verification engineers to conduct assessments. And as I mentioned before, we're an institute group and reputation for policy. Company certification group as part of TWI Certification Limited, which is what I head. We certify organisations for quality control welding and for welder training. We write certification schemes which set requirements similar to standards or CEDAW standards. Certification can add to project deliverables as a means of defining application, or customer benefits, or third-party requirements for exploitation of technologies and processes. and enhance innovation and operational activities. We can also assist UK and European companies with certification to international standards through international network. Oh, it doesn't. I can see that slide. I might have to come out of the presentation mode.
Emma, some of the listeners just wondered if it could be louder, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Unfortunately, my sound quality on my laptop is not the best, but I will.
Okay.
I will try and talk louder. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you see that screen? Is that it? Some of these images, I might have to close down.
Screen looks good.
Slideshow. Is that better? Can everyone see that slide better? Okay. So TWI Certification Limited Company Certification has its own schemes. The first on the left here is the Welding Fabricator Certification Scheme, which is in accordance with ISO 3834, which is the quality requirements of fusion welding. Welding requires obviously specialist quality management of personnel, procedures, facilities and processes. The WFCS scheme manages or prescribes requirements to provide assurance of welding and fabricator competence, and includes features of welding coordination, which companies must nominate competent welding coordinators. This scheme also provides customers not only with our TWICL certificate and schedules, but also the European Federation for Cutting, Welding and Joining and the International Institute of Welding certificate and schedule, which gives a markets on the global stage. And this particular scheme, regulation standards and specifications are increasingly demanding that manufacturers, fabricators and repairers of welded products show compliance with ISO 3834. The second one along is our scheme for certification for welding of railway vehicles and components in accordance with EN 15085. The 15085 standard applies to welding of metallic materials in the manufacture and maintenance of railway vehicles and their parts. It defines certification and quality requirements for the welding manufacturer to undertake new manufacture and repair work. The third one along is for the conformity assessment of the execution of steel and aluminium structures in accordance with 1090. It's highly regulated under the construction products regulation. Obviously, since Brexit and the UK leaving the EU, UK exports have required for Europe to still CE mark products for structural steel and aluminium. And in the UK, we are now bringing in the UK CA mark for exporting, and that will come officially into play in January 2023. So TWI Certification Limited has created partnerships in Europe through my contacts at EWF to enable customers, our customers, when undergoing a conformity assessment of their factory production control system with TWI Certification Limited, we can actually provide that flexibility when it comes to marking their products in Europe. And through the partnerships, they can actually now CE mark their products, but also UK CO mark and also CE NI UK mark for Northern Ireland, which gives a lot more flexibility. The fourth one along is our certification for manufacture of special materials in accordance with 17782. People may be more familiar with the NORSUC M650, which the standard has now sort of taken precedence. That's for petroleum, petrochemicals, and natural gas industries. The scheme is for the qualification of manufacturers through third-party conformity assessment of manufacturers of special materials. And the final scheme on the right, as you might note, it's not under a standard. It's a scheme that we've developed. We saw the gap in the market and felt that the certification scheme for welder training organisations was something that we developed ourselves. It's, again, third-party independent assessment and quality assurance, which enables organisations to show that their staff, facilities, equipment, teaching materials, and procedures meet best practice, basically. Through the scheme, organisations have the capability to gain approval as a CSWIP welding examiner venue, where they can undertake welding assessments for their students and staff in accordance with industry standards such as ISO 9606, AWS. And the scheme supports the CSWIP welding instructor and CSWIP welding examiner certification, providing competence assurance and continued professional development. That's our schemes. Let's move on to the next slide. So why certification? Well, even basic legislation such as the Sales of Good Act make it your legal responsibility to ensure that products deliver the performance that you've declared. Standards are now help to support that in effective control of the quality of manufactured products, and regulations and standards and specifications now are specifying more and more that requirements need to be defined. So I've provided this slide to give you some examples of technology projects where certification can possibly be included in project objectives. Company certification can contribute to industry requirements, gaps in the market, cutting edge research, validation. So I've put this slide together in the hope that it can maybe inspire some people or maybe interest you in some projects that you would like to work with certification. The first one, guidance notes for additive manufacturing certification. We could write best practice guides or notes on additive manufacturing certification. It's already been done, so you know it's something that's already out in the marketplace. But that's an idea as to what we can do. The second one, management systems for educational organisations. I popped this one on today because I felt that it might interest those of you that are involved in educational organisations, because I feel that unless they apply to ISO 9001, I haven't seen any schemes or certification that has been developed under this standard ISO 21001. Obviously, we need to identify which standards a customer would require certification against, but this one I feel is quite a good one, and I'm looking at potential partners that might be interested in being first to the market under an educational system being certified. The third one down, in Network Rail requirements for technical quality checks of railway track. This was Network Rail who approached us because they had risks auditing the network, but having to conduct all technical audits themselves. They were having twice as many audits as they needed, and they were having to do a lot of them themselves. So they felt that there was a bit of a gap there for their supply chain. TWICL came up with the solution that could provide third-party technical assessment and adapted our WFCS scheme, which is in accordance with the ISO 3834, specifically for rail track, and that's actually been rolled out, and now we actually certify all of their supply chain for them. The fourth one, independent operation of international sector membership organisations for implementation of best practice guides, validation, certification, and standardisation of requirements. I put this on here because it's something that we're looking into. It has been done before. TWI can obviously create a best practice guide, they can validate or certify documents, manage a membership organisation for industry sectors. It's been done in the rail sector. There was a committee formed, leaders in the sector formed that committee. TWICL as a certification body have been involved in that, which gives us an opportunity to be involved in the way that industry manipulates standardization of requirements in a particular field. We think that running a membership organization as a certification body, you could do it independently, but support a sector that perhaps feels that there isn't a standardization being implemented, and therefore having a committee where all maybe certification bodies are invited and industry sectors are invited, and we can then effectively run that membership. Another point here is the certification scheme for brazing in accordance with ISO 22688. There isn't one at the moment. And brazing obviously slightly different than what we normally do, but we do have some brazing experts. I will talk a little bit more about that one in a minute. And the friction stir welding technical specification in accordance with EN 15085 for railway vehicles and components. Another one that we have actually been involved with, which I'll just talk a little bit now about. So 15085 is for fusion processes only. We felt that in industry that there was no safety or consumer protection offered by the existing standard for application of friction stir welding. Even though it's briefly mentioned in the standard is actually written for fusion welding. And we felt that it didn't adequately address friction stir welding quality requirements. We know that some certification bodies have wrongly included friction stir welding in their 15085 certification schedules without any basis for establishing the relationship between process control and certification level. The project concept that we created is developing that relationship and creating certification requirements that will enable friction stir welding to be properly evaluated for railway vehicles. And obviously, capability-wise, TWI Limited, being the intellectual property owner and internationally expertise in the friction stir welding sector, with us, TWI Certification Limited, being a UCAS accredited certification body, also involved in the European Committee for Welding of Railway Vehicles and approved as a certification body for 15085, we felt that we were best placed as a group to create a technical specification. And the technical specification we have completed now. It will go to market once validated and potentially will become a supplement to the 15085 standard and perhaps a standard in its own right eventually. Okay. The other one that I mentioned as an example was the brazing, perhaps creating a certification scheme in accordance with relatively new standard ISO 22688. It was developed by IIW commissions, and a certification scheme would support conformity assessment for brazing. I engage in the development of certification solutions where support industry and protect consumers. But I also engage in the development of international standards, and that can set the requirements for conformity assessments such as ISO 22688 for grazing. And I was actually involved in writing this, and we modelled it on the ISO 3834 for fusion welding. So there are some examples that I thought were useful for you to understand what our capabilities are. Finally, I'd just like to summarise that TWI Certification Limited can assist UK and European companies with certification to international standards. My role in EWF and IRW and ECWRB provides access to European and international conformity assessment, can inform and guide European collaborative efforts and activities based on our knowledge and understanding of our stakeholder requirements. Whilst there are many certifications out there, none in the UK operate in such a significant international network with access to 49 countries through the IRW International Authorization Board. Thank you for your time. As I said, my name is Emma Freckingham. My contact details are there. If you're interested in any projects or have any questions that you'd like, I'm sure Cem can share my slides with you and my contact details. Unfortunately, I have to dip out, so I won't be meeting any of you in the networking later on, but please feel free to drop me a line. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Very comprehensive. Thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be a lot of thoughts around that, and hopefully this will be a good introduction for everyone for certification activities. And I would encourage everyone to work with the colleagues at TWI Certification, so you can actually have a better grasp on the matters and the rules and what needs doing. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
So we are at 11 o'clock at the moment, which is, according to our agenda, is a break time. So everyone can take a break, and we can be back at for our next talk by Kaplam at 11:20. I would like to thank everyone again for being with us, and also once again thank our sponsors, Prime Industrial sponsor Cars Welding, alongside Digital Catapult in the UK, TWI Hellas and TWI Certification. Thanks for their support and all the partners that are with us today. Thank you. And I hope to see you in 20 minutes time for the next talk. Thanks so much indeed. Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a short break. Glad to be here again. Thank you. And I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Huseyin Gonulkirmaz from Kaplam Otomotiv in Turkey. For those that do not know Kaplam, it's a very impressive company that's part of the network, and we're very proud to be able to collaborate with them. But I think Huseyin will be able to show you in details their history and what they are trying to achieve. Thanks very much. He's the R&D manager for Kaplam, so feel free to make a note of any questions you may have with regards to their R&D interests as well. Thank you very much. Over to you, Huseyin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cem. Let me share the screen first. First of all, thank you, Cem, and all TWI team members for giving me the opportunity to present our company, Kaplam Otomotiv, and our activities that we are conducting via TWI Innovation Network. I hope that we can meet you face to face after the pandemic for next years. I'm Huseyin Gonulkirmaz, mechanical engineer, and I'm R&D manager of Kaplam Otomotiv. I've been working here for almost 2 years. I would like to present my company and give you some hints how we can collaborate with the Innovation Network. And today I'm going to present short Kaplam Otomotiv, where we are, what are its products, groups, and the available key technologies, then short the organization overview, then our vision for the future, Then which kind of activities were conducted to participate European projects proposal till now? And let's start with the company intro. Kaplam established in 2005 in Bursa, where it's very close to an industrial zone. And location was moved in Karacabey to new built plant in 2009. Kaplam is at the center of the new automotive zones in Turkey, just 3 minutes away from Renault and Stellantis plants, and 2 hours away from Ford, Hyundai and Toyota plants. 4 hours to Ankara, where is located main defense sector. 2 hours to Kocaeli and Manisa, that are the locations of new plants, electrical vehicle battery production plants. Total area is 17,000 square meters for the time being. We are planning to reach the double of current area within 5 years in line with the projects to be launched for next years. And we can say that yearly basis 4 million plastic injected parts are produced in Kaplam, and 4,000 ton thermoplastic raw material is used, and 13 main and 25 different roughly grades plastic material are used in production. Yeah, nowadays we are serving a 100% automotive sector, but for the next future, home appliance and defense sector will be added, sure. Our customer portfolio is composed mainly local OEM producer and Taiwan suppliers. Actually, Ford, Tofaş, Fiat or new brand name Stellantis together with Peugeot, you know. Magneti Marelli, Mako, Faurecia, Valeo, Adient, Selcuk and Raikam are the main customers. And through Taiwan customers, we are reaching to well-known main OEMs. And Kaplam is a well-known supplier for automotive sector, especially for local markets. Our main competence is to support OEMs for co-design activities such as design to manufacture, design to quality, design to cost. During the last decade, Kaplam has launched more or less 520 plastic injection tools, means over 1,000 individual plastic parts, including left-hand, right-hand, and left-hand traffic, right-hand traffic versions. Yeah, that means Kaplam is one of the main trusted and experienced automotive suppliers to its customers. The figures on the slide is showing the distribution of the 20 different Tier 1 and 8 OEM customers. 2 of them directly, 6 of them indirectly via Taiwan customers. Ford and Stellantis are current OEMs we sending the parts, and all the others such as Valeo, Faurecia, Marelli, Varroc, Hanon, Adient are the some of Taiwan customers that we are a subcontractor of them. Again, this slide is showing which OEMs we are supporting via our Taiwan customers. As you see, BMW, Volkswagen, Daimler, and Toyota are some of them. I would like to point out that Kaplam defined its strategies according to needs, its main customer and market trends. Brief info will be given at the next slides. We would like you to know that we are very keen to be a part of European projects to achieve our main goals. You can see the plant layout and some pictures from the production locations to let you understand Kaplam in easy way. Yeah, this is our factory layout and some hints which showing the main operation locations inside the plant. And then some photos from the injection presses. Totally we have 35 injection presses with robo. This photo is showing right side of the plant. Another photo is showing the other side of the plant. A view from our test lab. Again, a view from injection machines and metallizing operation. Yeah, let's have a look history of the Kaplam. After the establishment of Kaplam in 2005, the plant was moved to Karacabey zone to its new plant in 2008. Aluminum coating shop was started up in 2011 for lighting components, such as reflectors, inner lenses, which is masked with special methodology, and all related lighting parts nowadays cover approximately 40% of total turnover. B injection parts production launched in 2013 related mainly HVAC parts such as flaps and motor holder, especially first to Valeo and then Hanon projects. 3 years ago, Kaplam was awarded by Ford Q1 quality certification, then signed a contract with Montaplast, which is one of the biggest German plastic part suppliers, to produce active grille shutter for new Ford Light commercial vehicle models starting from 2023. Again, 1 year later, we were awarded by Ford as Bronze Star. And finally, Kaplam established its R&D center to support all customers by giving design support and contribute to European projects for innovation accelerator. Kaplam R&D was certified as one of the design center amongst our over 1,500 national technical centers by Turkish Ministry of Industry in 2021. Sorry. Yeah. Next slide. Let's look at a little bit what are the main products group in Kaplam. TWIIN parts means interior and exterior parts, reliable design and production of perfect surface quality, mold separation lines, flawless scratch and strain resistance interior TWIIN parts, and the aesthetical interior parts that always fulfill their function against weather conditions. And lighting parts, one of the main focus groups, production of details. Saram Bey. Sorry for the interruption. Customer expectation in every sense, front and rear lighting parts. HVAC and cooling system parts, perfectly balanced, stable and reliable rotating parts for world-class designer, leading manufacturers of heating, air conditioning and cooling systems. Underbody and underhood parts, hybrid designs that include advanced engineering plastics and the latest composite materials where durability and functionality are at the forefront. Superior performance in the vehicle, lighting, which is indispensable for EV vehicles. Yeah. Sorry, Jem. Shall I interrupt 2 minutes because my charge is
No
signaling.
problem. Sure, we wait for you. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wait a minute, please. Sorry. Okay.
Carry on. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. So my voice is clear right now? Okay. Yeah, let's talk about product markets groups. Kaplam is producing plastic parts more or less for almost every side of the vehicle. You can see the three parts produced in the slide, such as IP and console components, extension, dash panel and rear screen, seating plastics, sunroof, back panel and front door scuff. When we say lighting parts, it means headlamp and rear lamp components such as housings, aluminum coated reflectors, inner lenses and light guides. The meaning of HVAC plastics for Kaplam is B-injection silent flaps for air canalizing, robust housings without squeak, well-balanced blowers, B-injection motor holders for excellent vibration damping. Cooling module parts are fan blades, shrouds, no-active grill shutters for well-optimized energy efficiency. And our product portfolio goes on and on, including underbody and underhood parts. What are the key technologies at Kaplam? The main competence is plastic injection process at Kaplam. Especially spin injection process is well organized, maintain the customer expectations. Injection machines with the capacities from 50 to 2,300 tons. And the other one is coating, and reflective and partially coated aesthetic products used in lighting products are coated with the aluminum coating machines, as you see in the picture, metallizing shop. And we have two metallizing machines in there. So, one of the Kaplam strategies is to support the customer with the assembled components as much as possible instead of simple injected plastic parts. Nowadays we have 5 different SE line. One of them is Fiat Tipo MCA headlamp housing SE line, as you see. And 13 different components are assembled with our expert staff. What about test labs? More or less 95% of the tests that customers required in the current projects are made internally. Measurement lab. Kaplam has all necessary measurement devices to launch the customer project in safely. Even a 20 tons injection molding tooling measurement can be performed in our CMM machines. Yeah, here is a summary of our organization. I am the R&D manager and reporting directly to Mr. Hannibal Kaynakçıoğlu, who is our managing director. Excluding the board of members, an average of more than 20 years of management experience in the automotive industry, most of which have worked in worldwide Tier 1 suppliers, such as Marelli and Adient. You can see the company owners in this slide. All the board members are there. And all the managers are in this photo, a view from one of the customer visits. Yeah, Kaplam is a SME company and it has almost 300 employees almost. Again, approximately 30% of them has high level of education, and our management is supporting female employment, and almost 40% of employees are women. Yeah, this is a family photo from one of the ceremony at Kaplam. And vision for the future. Let me explain briefly what's our vision for the future. According to the company R&D strategies, our main activities are mentioned in this slide. First is new product development activities as a strategic co-design partner with the main OEMs, such as Ford. Nowadays we are developing front wheel outliner of new light commercial vehicle model to be produced for Craiova, plant at Romania, and to be launched in 2023. And second topic is design, development and manufacturing collaboration with OEMs and raw material manufacturers for vehicle lightening solutions. Overmolding of composites, hybrid molding, organosheet and thermoplastic feathers instead of metal, we are thinking. In the new mobility era, we don't want to skip product development on new mobility solutions. We think that we can design and produce complete thermoplastic e-bike frames. Feasibility studies ongoing for new models to be launched at suitable geographic locations near Istanbul, Bursa and Izmir. There should be a vandal resistant, low maintenance bicycle model that will be offered to bicycle lovers by rental methods, especially with the help of the web application of municipalities. We are in the talks with local municipalities and local bicycle manufacturers. Another topic, additive manufacturing, will be another focus, especially the implementation of 3DP metal insert to be used for conformal cooling, where we need superior thermal management in the injection molding tools. Searching a capable and cost-effective suppliers going on from Far East to European countries. As far as we follow, the most of the battery carriers in mass production are produced from sheet metal and the steel using traditional metals. We believe that in the near future, the technology level will turn into aluminum structure and eventually turn into thermoplastic composites and advanced engineering plastic structures. That means the right time to maintain collaboration with all OEMs, Taiwan suppliers and innovative engineering company. Finally, we are interested in HMI surfaces to be applied as interior trim parts. In mold decorations, capacitive sensors, and software are the main innovations to be gathered together. In order to achieve our main goals, we need to invest following subjects. In this slide you can see warehouse at European zone, and in order to increase export at total turnover, logistic cost to be optimized by using warehouse close to main OEMs plant like Volkswagen or big tire ones such as Valeo, Hanon or Faurecia. Another one, machine learning and artificial intelligence applications for manufacturing. Means necessary investment to be done for using IoT, big data, then implement all improvement actions by using ML and AI. And the other one, investments for production cost reduction and net zero targets of European Green Deal. Renewable energy is another one. Solar panel usage at our plant must be invested. Investments for new technologies, talking about IMD and HMI surfaces, new trend in interior trim and trim parts, showing us to invest necessary equipments to be reached new plastic parts for electrical vehicles. Lightweightening, auxiliary machine equipments for injection assisted gas, water should be ready in midterm. Joining plastic to plastic, vibration and laser welding to be invested in Kaplam. Of course, for more business, for more hiring capable engineers we need and technicians to achieve valuable plastic parts to be co-designed with OEMs. Then, participation to project proposals via TWI Innovation Network. Let me tell you shortly about our story with TWI Innovation Network. In fact, we met with the TWI Network and its esteemed chairman, Dr. Selcuk, during a webinar on European projects prepared by Bursa Industrialist Businessmen Association, of which we are also a member. And we listened to him and we had information about how the process developed. We joined the Technology Accelerator program in November last year. And as of this date, we participated in the TWI Horizon 2020 workshop and Innovation Network Convention as part of the Green Deal. And as a sponsor, we try to gain visibility and awareness about our company in the network. And for the first time, we received a consortium partnership offer for a project proposal called Telecom. After a short consultation with our top management, we joined a proposal called Telecom as the Innovation Accelerator. A total of 21 different organizations, and 19 of which were European, participated in the consortium. The total amount of funds to be covered by the European fund was approximately 13 million euro. And the project basically could be explained, it's a circular solution and recycling of the thermoset composite material. The source of the material was wind turbine blades, which lifespan is over. After the 25 years working period, dismantled blades sent to patented thermochemical process, then resin and fibers are reused in wind turbine blade production or automotive components production. Kaplam role was demonstration how recycled fibers would be reused in automotive parts, and small-scale wind turbine blades to be used in electrical vehicle battery charging station. Yeah, unfortunately, our proposal was rejected. However, since the evaluation score was 13.5 out of total of full points, the consortium partners are revised the project proposal and submitted the new project proposal. The name of the project was Recompose. This time, a total of 16 organizations participated, and the four project proposals, which will last for a total of 36 months, was submitted in September this year. We hope this time it will be eligible to receive support from European funds. Another project proposal we participated in May this year was given for Innovation UK, named Sentio. Kaplam supported this proposal led by Brunel University, but didn't seek funding. Its main objective was to integrate the ultrasonic subsystems in current injection molding machinery to facilitate and improve the manufacturing process of biomaterials, aiming at replacing current plastics while obtaining similar end products. Yeah, it will thus aim to improve material properties, 6 to 10% increase in strength, etc., make the process more energy efficient, approximately 30% reduction, and reduce scrap waste by again 30% scrap. Yeah. As Kaplam, our aim was to try to improvements offered with the scope of the proposal in our own works and to increase our experience, especially in bioplastics. Unfortunately, the project was rejected despite receiving 82 out of 100 points. We are sorry, but we are still interested and enthusiastic about project proposals that will help the spread of bioplastic material. And finally, in September this year, we joined a European project proposal called Made Circular as a consortium partner again. In our proposal, 10 different organizations in 6 countries shared tasks. The total expected income is 4.1 million euro. The title of our proposal was Data-Driven Knowledge Framework for a Competitive Circular Production System. Yeah, the overall objective of this proposal is to develop and deploy a trustworthy data-driven artificial intelligence framework to enable the application of circularity applied to plastic parts in the automotive and electronic industry. Demonstrate cooperation along the supply chain and the value chain of such parts from cradle to grave, and capture and distribute part data with a blockchain to support the part circularity. The role of Kaplam in the project is to be a search performer support testing, validation of approaches and ideas, make prototyping and demonstration. So we are waiting the evaluations. We think that we will get the results at the end of May next year. We hope we will be one of the winners in this call as whole consortium. This is all the story, what I can share with you so far. Thank you for your joining with us and your patience for listening to me.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Huseyin. Thank you for your time and the comprehensive presentation. I believe there's been a few questions and interest coming in based on your slides. We can share these with you. One of the things was whether there's interest in recycling of materials and polymer composites. But I can see that from your European applications like Made Circular, you're interested in circular economy. So I guess that in a way answers some of the question, but we can arrange a discussion for that afterwards. And another listener asked whether how they can join TWIIN. As shown in the previous slides, there's services available for companies. You can subscribe to TWIIN, and if you'd like any information on that, we can communicate that to you. So thank you again, Huseyin. Now on to our next speaker with a little bit of delay, but hopefully we're fine time-wise. Uwe has joined us from Fraunhofer IKTS. And hopefully he will give you an insight into what they do, as well as their intentions for collaborative projects. They are very specialist body with interest in monitoring and ultrasonics and applications. So I think it's better that Uwe explains it to you. Or over to you, Uwe. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Cem. I hope you can see my screen and you can hear me.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay, great. Then I would like to give you an overview about Fraunhofer IKTS and also some insight in our condition monitoring activities. I'm working in the department for condition monitoring and test services. And I'm responsible for the hardware and software development for the condition monitoring systems we develop. Nevertheless, I'll try to give you an overview about Fraunhofer in general and the Fraunhofer IKTS, that you might see some opportunities, how you can cooperate with IKTS in different areas. Of course, I'm not the head of the institute, so don't expect that I'm too deep in the details of all the different technologies we can offer, but you get an impression on what Fraunhofer IKTS can do for you. So Fraunhofer Gesellschaft at a glance. It's one of the biggest research societies in the world and the biggest one in Europe. In Germany, we have approximately 27,000 employees, and they are distributed within 72 institutes and research units. They are more or less evenly distributed in all Germany, and we have an annual budget of about 2 to 2.5 billion euros, where we get about 20 to 30% of our budget from the German federal and Länder governments, and the other 70% we have to get from public financed research or from industry research. Yeah, the name Fraunhofer Gesellschaft is given by the inventor and researcher Josef von Fraunhofer, who did research. For example, he discovered the Fraunhofer lines in the solar spectrum. He was also an inventor, and in this area he has developed new methods for processing glass lenses. And he was also an entrepreneur for a glassworks factory, where he was a director and partner. And this is the mission that the Fraunhofer Society has set for itself, So we want to do applied research to provide new technologies to SMEs. We also want to invent different things. Maybe you have heard of different inventions that were supported by Fraunhofer, like the MP3. It's the most known one. And then, of course, we also want to contribute and bring new technologies into the industry. We have, beside our German locations, a lot of subsidiary centers and project centers all over the world. It's a little bit like what you have seen from the TWI before. And you can be sure that in the area you are working in, that you can find some project office or a subsidiary of Fraunhofer in your location. So let's go for Fraunhofer IKTS. Well, basically, the Fraunhofer IKTS stands for Ceramic Technologies and Systems. You might find for all of technologies available different Fraunhofer institutes, but the main focus of Fraunhofer IKTS is everything that's somehow related to ceramic materials. We have 3 main sites, which our headquarters is in Dresden. Then we have another one in Thuringia and another one in Dresden. That is where I'm coming from, and our focus is material diagnostics. Nevertheless, we have some other project centers distributed, and we are also partnered in application and technology centers and in Fraunhofer centers, where we cooperate typically with direct industry or with other Fraunhofer institutes for different applications. For example, energy storage and systems. There is a center for batteries, and then smart agriculture and water management, for example, in Portugal. The Fraunhofer IKTS in figures, so we have about 613 full-time equivalents of research, technical and administration staff. Our overall budget is about 65 million, and our industrial revenue is in the range of 23 million euros. So we fit perfectly in this area of Fraunhofer, where the institute should have between 25 and 50% of industrial revenue on their budget, because if you have less, then maybe what you're doing is not so relevant for the industry, and if you have much more, then you should think about to create a startup or transfer your results into the industry. And the institute leader is Professor Michaelis, who is also a chair at the Dresden University for ceramic technologies. So what's the mission of our institute? So our whole value chain covers the innovation phases that are necessary for product development. It starts from idea and business cases, and we can do a development alliance with customers or with other institutes. Then we can conduct research and developments in the labs we have or with the customers. And then we can also accompany the customer in prototype manufacturing and even a pilot plant application. After this, typically Fraunhofer stops being involved in this because mass production is typically an industry task. Therefore, we realize research and development project and guide our customers through this value chain. Typically, you can be direct customer as industry for Fraunhofer. This is typically the fastest opportunity or option to get your task done or your challenge investigated. But we also cooperate within public funding schemes on national and international basis. So you can join this, but typically this takes a little bit longer, and it's not always sure that you get funding for it. And of course, you can also get licenses of technologies that have been already developed at Fraunhofer, because we have a small budget where we can do forefront research that is not does not to be financed by industry or public funding. Yeah, we have different business divisions at Fraunhofer IKTS. One of them is non-destructive testing and monitoring, where I'm coming from. But we cover the whole value chain on ceramic materials. So starting with materials and processes and material processing, we have mechanical and automotive engineering, electronics and microsystems, energy systems, departments for environmental and process engineering, bio and medical technologies, water treatment, and materials and process analysis. And all these business divisions are connecting with each other. We provide material diagnostic, reliability, and quality assurance for all of these different business units. To give you some insight of what Fraunhofer IKTS is doing, I have a few slides with some current research projects to give you an impression how broad the range of technologies is. So there's, for example, air separation, O2 generators, where ceramic membranes are developed. The same for nanofiltration and separation of gases that can be done with ceramic membranes. We do investigations in recycling of valuables from wastewater to get fertilizers and medicals out of the water. We develop concepts for different battery systems, for example, for lithium batteries. We develop systems for power and heat generation from biogas and have also a pilot plant in Dresden. We do biocompatible ceramic bone replicas. We also do AI-based signal evaluation for the technologies we develop on ourselves. We developed new generation of eddy current testing. We investigate electronic reliabilities for new systems we develop by ourselves or for customer needs. We do 3D printing for different materials, for example, for ceramic materials, and we also provide defect detection in 3D printing. There are different projects with condition monitoring and non-destructive testing, for example, ultrasonic clamp for testing of catenaries, or we developed a permanent monitoring system for offshore applications. We also have capabilities for LTCC MEMS packaging, so we can do microsystems and also can do design systems for harsh environments, and so on. There is a lot of things going on at Fraunhofer IKTS. Some more is fuel cell technologies. Of course, this is also a ceramic technology that is underlying on the membranes, and also battery storage. We develop sodium nickel chloride batteries for stationary storage. And also, for example, ceramic wear and attack protection for different applications in industry and also in offshore, and so on. So there is a huge amount of different technologies available at Fraunhofer IKTS. So when it comes to ceramics, Fraunhofer IKTS is the research unit where you can go and you might find a partner for your challenge. For example, we can also do transparent ceramics for display applications and high frequency ultrasonic transducers. So coming from the whole picture of Fraunhofer IKTS, a little bit more in the field of non-destructive testing and condition monitoring. So in the material diagnostic branch, we use optical methods, electromagnetic methods, micro and nano analytics, ultrasonic methods, structural health monitoring and condition monitoring, and reliability and durability of electronics for different application areas like electronics, transportation, metalworking, medicine and life science, aerospace, and energy and environmental technologies. The group Condition Monitoring and Test Services has competencies in development of methods and systems to monitor plants and structures and processes. We cover the entire value chain on developing such systems, and our working fields are energy production, aviation, transport and logistics, process and plant engineering, and we are also active in the certification area and in the developing of standardization. So the head of our group is the chair for the technical committee for condition monitoring of the German Society for Non-Destructive Testing. Yeah, as I said, we can handle the entire value chain at Fraunhofer IKTS for our SHM and NDT systems. So we can start out from simulation of wave propagation for our condition monitoring systems to process development, damage localization, signal processing, and so on, study of relevant environmental influences. We can also cover the sensor design, sensor material development, and also investigate reliability for long-term measurements. Then we also develop the electronics by ourselves, because typically for structural health monitoring or condition monitoring tasks, you need very special electronics. And we also do the data processing and energy supply. So if we need special energy supply like optical power, because there are issues with lightnings, for example, in rotor plates, then we can do tailored solutions for this, or we also develop battery-powered wireless sensor networks for condition monitoring for different measurement tasks. After that, we also do sensor application and integration. Typically, you have X-proof housing as a requirement in oil and gas industry, for example. And then we also can do an accreditation that you can use to develop systems in a regulated area where you cannot typically go into without fulfilling standards. So we can do this to validate the techniques that you can use it in your area. Yeah, some examples. We are developing acoustic emission systems to support fatigue test, and what we typically do is install piezoelectric sensors on different locations along the rotor plate, and then we can collect the noise that is made from cracks inside the rotor plate to operational or test loads, and then we can localize the acoustic events and give you a plot where crack has happened, for example. Another development was an underwater sensor sleeve for welded seams or for offshore structures. Typically, you have a periodical inspection at the moment, and we developed a sensor sleeve that can be used to monitor these subsea structures for about 20 years in harsh environment, and we are using guided waves for this. Currently, it's also possible that you can go there with your ROV to measure at these sensor sleeves. As there was some focus on offshore applications, Fraunhofer IKTS has joined a network with 3 other Fraunhofer institutes to found new project center for smart ocean technologies, where we have an excellent infrastructure for maritime experiments. So we are on the harbor edge there, and we have a ROV available, so you can do investigations under realistic environmental states. And the research topics of IKTS in this center are maintenance and condition monitoring for maritime structures and vessels, and smart coatings, investigations in the area of microplastics, development of ROEs, and battery monitoring for maritime vessels. Another example is from transportation and traffic, where we want to provide condition monitoring for pressure vessels that can store natural gas, or the next level then the hydrogen gas. These carbon fiber composite pressure vessels are loaded up with 450 or more bars, and they are the system is then susceptible to impact damage. For example, if you have a collision or something, then you can instantly check if the tank is okay. Another example is vessel and storage tanks, where we develop system to detect corrosion in different areas, or also heat exchangers, where corrosion can happen in the structures. And all this is done with guided waves that we use for condition monitoring primarily. We also have in-house development for our electronic components. We also do components for conventional NDT testing. So we have the Picos Pro electronic family for various NDT applications that is used for ultrasonic, conventional and phased array applications, and for eddy current testing as well. And we also, of course, develop the systems for our condition monitoring tasks. Yeah, well, from the condition monitoring point of view, what are the fields of application and topics of interest that we are currently looking for partners? So one main field is the predictive maintenance, where we are looking for partners to perform lifetime prediction based on our measurement data. Then we would like to cooperate with machine learning and artificial intelligence partners to speed up our data processing, time to market, and enhance our data interpretation in general. And then also implementation of systems and digital twin architectures for predictive maintenance and so on. But generally, we are looking for partners in all these areas we are working with, and also in all the other ceramic technologies. So our expectations from the TWI Innovation Network partnership, we have just joined recently, so we cannot report too much about how well this worked. Our goal is to extend our network with industrial and academic partners. We want to identify new fields of application for condition monitoring systems and related research activities. We would like to cooperate within Horizon Europe research projects. The current focus is on the condition monitoring and NDT, but we can also imagine to widen this range up to other technologies available on IKTS. And we would like also to cooperate in the field of standardization for our condition monitoring applications. So thank you very much, and we would be happy if you get in contact with us for your exciting topics and challenges you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Uwe. Thanks very much. I think it was an eye-opener for many people. I think Fraunhofer is a very huge organization. So thanks for the top-down summary plus the IKTS focus. We hope that it'll be very relevant to the members in the network, and hopefully we can collaborate together in projects across many of these sectors.